Sunday night, the only bar where you won't see a fight. Just sitting down to shoot the shit, from ice cold beers to politics. Plane, train, bus, or in your car, you're always at home at The Real Bar.
Sponsored by the Palisades Hotel Bar and Grill.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Real Bar podcast. I'm your host, and I'm here with my co-host, RJ Ferrucci. What's up, dude?
What is going on, guys?
Finally, we got a guest. Last week was kind of embarrassing, but we do have a guest this week. Our guest is Jon Griggs, man. What's up?
Thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
You got to move it up a little bit. That's the way to start it, though. Way to start it.
I'm new to this. I'm new to this. Let's do it, though.
You're
I'm
good.
excited.
You're good. As always, appreciate you coming on, man.
Absolutely.
After long fucking talks and getting shit done, meetings, a bunch of other stuff. Just to kind of give you guys like a preface, a little base. I've known Jon my whole life. RJ, you've known him just as long, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
We've been friends, played basketball together. I just recently found out he's a financial advisor / planner, whatever title you guys want to call him / he wants to take on as himself.
Elite advisor.
Elite advisor. He's in the top class. Played Division I advising for a little while.
I'm still in the game.
So I mean, we're just gonna start it right there. I guess the way to start is, how did you get into it? I mean, you kind of told me about this in your office. We'll talk on that in a little bit. But how did you get into financial advising? What'd you go to school for? Kind of like give us your credentials on it.
Okay. Well, first things first. Obviously, I'm just probably like you guys. I didn't know what I wanted to do when I went to college. I majored in economics. I was a dual major actually, in economics sociology. Coming out, I got recruited by a company called Northwestern Mutual. I'm sure everybody heard of it. We're a Fortune 100 company. So obviously the contract was contingent on me going to business school. So I got my MBA from Utica College, and ever since, man, the ball's been rolling.
So I mean, just to kind of grab that from you, you said you got recruited, I guess is what you said. I mean, not obviously recruited like if you were going to the NBA or something, but is it basically, did you have an internship or did they just
basically in the NBA though? Yeah.
So Northwestern NBA team?
Yeah, I'm a professional.
Okay. So what do you mean by recruited though? Did you put an application in, or they seek you out through the program you were in? How'd that work?
So, they actually seeked me out. There's this guy, I don't know if he wants me to put his name out there, really, but he knew me from, like, he used to coach Notre Dame basketball.
Okay.
So, and he just knew my work ethic. He knew what I was doing. We stayed in contact, had a good relationship, and he was like, hey, dude, this is for you. And I was like, I'm in right away. So, and there's a few other reasons why I decided to become a financial advisor, actually. Because first things first, I knew whatever career path I wanted to follow, I wanted to have an impact on people's lives. Like, that was the main thing. I just wanted to have a huge impact on people's lives, help each other out. And then, to be honest, if we really want to just dive into it, get right into it, I got contracted in April, and probably 2 days after, my aunt went to cardiac arrest. So, and I was there. It was like, it was Easter dinner. We're all just hanging out. She went to cardiac arrest. She had no heartbeat for like 20 minutes. Somehow, from the grace of God, she's still with us.
Nice. Glad to hear that.
But literally, I saw the impact firsthand on what could happen if something like that were to happen to anybody. So right away, I was like, this is for me, because I know I can make a connection with people. I can make an impact. I could change people's lives for the better. So
All right, fair. I mean, we definitely got a little farther than I wanted to right there, but it was good. I guess.
Gotta get right in it. Gotta get in it.
Yeah.
Gotta get in the freaking muck.
I guess I'm gonna skip.
I like to dive in head first.
I'm gonna skip to a question that I had deeper in because you said you knew you wanted to do something that would impact people's lives, at least positively. I had a question on here: do you think what you do or your career path is something that's like morally sound or like morally compliant? So like basically for anyone listening, or even for you if you don't fully understand that, which I'm sure you do, is like, do you go to work every day and do you think, or do you know what you do does have a positive impact on people? Like, do you go home and regret decisions you've made, or like feel guilty, or like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that? Because like a lot of the stigma or stereotype people have around financial advisors, because they're not aware of them, is that they like fuck up people's money and they're just in it for the money for themselves.
Right. So I have two answers for you. One, the first answer will clear it all. I will never, ever have to apologize to anybody about the work I do. Ever. Two, obviously, I'm not sure if you guys know, but the financial services industry is like highly regulated. So they're starting to change into a fiduciary like ruling. So basically that means I'm obligated to do everything in the best interest of the client. So, for example, I just told you to buy Apple stock, right, for $75, whatever, right? The day later, I get it for $74. I'm legally obligated to switch stocks with you for you get the gain. Yes.
Okay.
So that's how regulated the industry is right now. So no. I know my job. I will never have to apologize to anybody about the work I do.
I think we like leapfrogged really far into this shit because we gotta talk about one. We kind of skipped over your education and like I know personally that you have some prestigious certifications in the field.
Okay.
People on here don't. Two, if I'm just another Joe Schmo on the street, I don't even know what a financial advisor does. So I think we gotta really
absolutely we gotta slow it down.
Yeah.
Mason trying to just come at me morally.
Bro, I just jump into what's next, bro.
He was waiting for that one.
Like, I'm taking a shower right now.
I'm the transition king, bro. It was a great transition.
But what, can I ask you something? What makes you, do you have that perception, or do you think that's just the general
of what, that people that want you to like invest money and shit mess with it, like they're only in it for themselves? Do I have that perception you're asking?
Right, because I think.
All right, Jake, you hit that light. We're gonna need it.
Okay.
You go. Keep going.
So I'm just wondering, I'm not telling people just to invest their money. I like to think I think of it as I'm a financial advisor. Yes, that's my title. But I'm also, my main objective and goal, I'm a financial planner. So I do holistic planning for people. And we'll touch on that. I know you want to touch on the whole holistic part. So no, I'm not just being like, hey, go invest in Google.
I think you're a fucking chomp, bro.
I knew it.
I think that leads us to another question that I had, which is kind of what I wanted to do anyway. Is no, first of all, I do not have that stereotype. Yes, I think a lot of people in the general population who don't know a lot about it, not that I do, but I know enough to where I don't have that stereotype, have the general population, I do believe, have that. But I also think it's because of something that they don't know, which you talked to me about in our meeting, which we'll get to soon. Mm-hmm. The difference between a financial planner, a money manager, and an insurance agent.
Right.
A lot of people don't know the difference between those two. If you hear those three things right now, you're like, oh yeah, this one does this, blah 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 blah. But like, that's where I think the stereotype comes in. You hear financial advisor, you're like, oh, all right, that's the guy that wants me to give him my money. He's going to invest it and tell me he's going to make me more, and he's just going to end up making money for himself. So that's not what you do. You do some of that, kind of, but you don't actually take people's money out of their checking account or whatever, say, hey, give me 10 grand, I'll turn it into $100K and give it back to you. No. That's not your job, and I think that's where the stereotype comes from.
That's a money manager.
Can you just describe the difference between the three? Money manager and...
Describe exactly what you do.
Yeah,
Oh,
what you
can
do.
Describe all this, but
Des-
I
des-
don't know
I'll
what
start
you
with me
do.
first.
Describe
and
what you
then
do.
Move on to them.
Yeah, describe what you do and then describe the other two and how they
Okay,
differ.
cool. So, I'm a financial advisor. My goal. Well, first off, I'm a financial advisor. I specialize in 3 areas. That's risk management, wealth accumulation, wealth preservation, and distribution.
So
When you
Before you-
hit that with your watch, I can hear you. Just letting you know. It
let me
picks
know
it
what
up.
your risk man like. So kind of dive. So
So-
you kind of give me 4 things there. Kind of dive into those a little bit more because I mean those are I know what they are personally, but I know like when I first started out in the real world, I those were just terms, not
Absolutely.
actual reality.
So, first thing, I specialize in risk management. So that's basically what happens if you can't go to work tomorrow or what happens if you can't go to work for X amount of time. What are you gonna do for income? How are you gonna pay your bills? How's that gonna affect your saving and investing strategies? How are you gonna put away money for retirement? How's that gonna affect you and your family?
Okay.
Right? We gotta protect that.
Okay.
What's your most valuable asset? What would you say?
My most valuable asset.
Your most valuable asset that you own.
I'd probably say my life, probably my life and then my house. Like I don't know what. Is your life an asset? I don't really know.
Right? No, it is to some extent, but I would word it differently. Your most valuable asset is your ability to make an income, right?
Oh, okay. So I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah,
So-
I agree with that. Yeah, for sure.
Because without your income,
You can't have
you don't
house.
have none of this.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't got
so,
a new
okay.
house.
Yeah,
You
you're
got
right.
New boats, right? We got to
Yeah.
protect that.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. That's first, right?
Yeah.
Second, what if you have a family? You guys obviously don't have families yet, but
Not yet.
you probably will one day soon. Given just that's time.
Griggs,
That's
don't
just
you
time.
wish
Yeah,
that on me, you
yes.
little shit.
5 of these are just running around. No, this is a serious question. This is serious though. Like, we want to protect you and your family from unforeseen risk.
Yeah.
So, God forbid, something were to happen to you and you flamed out early.
Yeah.
We want to make sure your family's set after you lose. That's an income loss, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you want to send your kids to school.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you want to make sure that they're taken care of. I like to use an analogy as like, say there's a two-way mirror, right? Two-way mirror. You're on one side, your family's on the other. You can't hear them. I mean, you could watch them, but they can't hear or see you.
Okay.
What do you want to be watching?
Jeez, you're getting deep on me over there. I
Like,
mean,
seriously though.
I would love to see them like striving for like
Right.
not striving. It's a wrong word. I'm trying to figure out the
Prospering?
word. There it is. Prospering. I'd love to see that. Obviously, like
Happy, mortgage paid off.
never money as a
Issue, right?
as an issue ever. Like that's not what I would.
Because I'm pretty sure we all know money's probably the number one issue in marriages and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So if something were to happen to you, you would want to make sure your family's good. Can I assume that?
Oh, of course. Of course.
Right. So that's the second part to my risk management.
Okay.
Second, wealth accumulation. That's just saving investment strategies, making sure we're using our 401k. If you have the capacity to max it out, max it out.
Okay.
If you got a match, absolutely use it. And also Roth IRAs. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. I kind of explained it to you a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar.
Basically, so your 401k, it's like a tax advantage retirement savings account. So basically, your contributions come out your paycheck and it lowers your tax income, your taxable income. Roth IRAs are just the opposite, basically. So you get no tax advantage right now, but all the growth when you go withdraw at the age of 59 and a half, start to withdraw at age 59 and a half, is all tax free. So basically, if you're making less money now, let's say just hypothetically, you're making like 40, RJ's making 80,
Okay.
right?
I wish. Be sick.
It'd probably be more advantageous for you to use a Roth IRA because you're in a lower tax bracket right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think we're getting a little too into the fucking statistic, like the numbers, though. For the people listening, you know what I'm saying?
No, I just wanted
he's
to.
trying to make the point.
No, I get where he's at.
Of
I'm just
what-
saying
what
I don't
we
think
do.
we shouldn't describe the.
No, we
that.
get it.
Yeah.
We could get into that stuff later, but I just
Yeah,
wanted to
I get what
kinda
you're
give
saying.
them, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
gist
giving
of-
your the three things you
the
do.
third is wealth preservation and distributions. Basically, how are you gonna withdraw your retirement in the most tax efficient way, and
Lift that
like-
mic up.
and also
Yep.
make sure like your estate settlements are all settled. Make sure you got a trust, a will, all those kind of things.
All right, so those are the three things you do. So then, what is the difference between what you do and then what someone you would describe as a money manager does, and someone who's just an insurance agent or insurance salesman?
So a money manager typically works with only high net worth people, individuals.
Yeah.
And they manage their portfolios like on a day-to-day basis. So they're the ones telling them like what to buy, when to sell, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a money manager.
So that's the person you say, all right, here, give me $100K. By the end of the year, I'll turn it into $1 million. That's what a money. I mean, not necessarily, but like that's what they do in a nutshell. Is they do the stock market. They increase your money. They're supposed to help you,
Yeah.
but they don't do the insurance aspect of it. They don't care about your 401k, your Roth IRA. They only care about the money you make and how to make more of it without doing any work. Make your money work for you, sort of thing.
In a sense, but the Roth, the 401k, the insurance, that's all part of your portfolio.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Right, but they're more focused
on your income.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
they're focused on like index funds, mutual funds, like
Yeah.
certain stocks.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And most money managers probably won't talk to you unless you make probably $250,000 or more. So
All right.
that's yeah.
All right, and then what's I mean, obviously most
Insurance
people know
agents kind of
salesman.
self-explanatory, right?
So let's say I don't make $250,000.
Right.
Let's say I make an average salary is 50, right?
Yep.
Say I make 50K. I need my money invested in the stock market, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to have anything to do with going on the brokerage, picking the right ones. Is that something you can do as an advisor?
Yeah. So we actually we utilize a company called American Funds.
Okay. I'm familiar with them actually.
Are you?
Yes.
Capital Group and everything like that.
Yes. It's actually something I use.
Cool.
But that's done by my company. Just
Yeah.
so people are aware. Like, cool. What's this? Okay. Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. This is.
It's good. They're a very good company. They're a very prestigious company.
They're a grouping of funds, correct?
Have a track record of beating the index on all their mutual funds. So when we go, so what was your question? Was if I'm like
So
involved in that?
let's just say if I use you,
Right.
If I'm like, all right, Griggs, I want you to be. I want you to take care of my money,
Right.
but I don't make $250K. Like.
Right. So I would partner with other advisors from American Funds, and they advise you. So I'm not the one telling you like specific mutual funds to invest your money in.
Okay.
But mutual funds mostly come after the fact we get everything else straightened out.
Yeah.
We want to be using your 401k, Roth IRA. We want to make sure we got some insurance in there. We want to make sure everything's in place first. And then if you have the capacity, then yeah, absolutely, your debt's paid off and everything. Now we're going to start investing into mutual funds, index funds, stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, and
but I'm not specifically involved
No,
in.
this company pretty much groups stocks, funds, all sorts of bonds,
Right.
into a overall thing, and then you put your money into that.
Right.
So pretty much you diversify by investing in one group. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. They actually, so the way it works is they form committees. It's usually it's probably in there between like probably 25, 40 people of their best experts, analysts, investors, and they pick all the stocks to go into a fund.
Okay.
And so it's already diversified.
So pretty much, in short, yes, I can go to you, and you can help me
Yes.
as my guy. Let's call you my guy.
Yes.
As my guy, you can do these things for me. Right?
Absolutely.
He's basically he can do it all three things he explained.
Absolutely.
He can do all three as one.
As one.
Right.
All right.
That where the holistic part comes.
Yeah. So, all
Comes in.
right, we'll touch on that quick, and then I want to get into the mock little thing me and you did. So, you guys probably heard this word a couple times so far. If you don't know, I mean, I just really want to just get a quick definition. Northwestern Mutual, I can say this.
No, yeah.
Says they offer holistic financial advice. So, can you just please briefly explain what the word holistic means and why you want to, I guess, invest in a company that's doing things holistically?
Right. So for starters, I'm not sure quite the exact definition of holistic, but
All right. I'll give the definition, and then you explain how it works.
I know I could explain it for you.
Yeah. So the definition of holistic is basically the same thing as diversified. You put. Oh yeah. Why? Yeah. Why would I lie? The only way you learn definitions is if you look them up. Definition of
Google.
Holistic is basically things are diversified. So you're putting things in different places. So if one thing crashes, the rest are still good. So can you explain how that is what you guys do? You don't put everything in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. It's pretty much what holistic is saying.
So yes and no. So
Yeah,
all right. So our whole approach is, first off, no financial plan is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's in different situations, right? So it's all about prospect, clients. What are your objectives and what are your goals? Where are you right now? And where do you want to get to, right? And now we're going to look at every single part of your financial life. So we're going to create a budget for you. We're going to look at your saving philosophies. We're going to see if you even have an emergency fund. We're going to see are you started preparing for retirement? What age do you want to even retire? How much income do you need to retire to last you X amount of years? What insurances do you have in place? What are your needs? What gaps can we fill? So when I say holistic, we're looking at every single part of your financial life.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get you from A to B.
Yeah, all right, exactly. So I did actually, while we were talking, I did actually Google the definition just so people understand it. But we need a fact check around here. The real definition is characterized by a comprehension of the parts of something as intimately interconnected and explicable only by reference to the whole. So basically the parts equal the whole. You can't have, like he said, you can't get to B without A. So you need A, B, and C to equal D. You need all the parts to equal the whole.
It's a comprehensive plan.
Exactly. So I just want everyone to understand kind of what that meant, because to be 100% honest, I didn't have a full comprehension of what it meant when he said it 3 times to me throughout text messages and phone calls. So I looked it up prior to going to a meeting with him, and that's kind of what I want to jump into now.
But before you do that,
Yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
one question for you.
Go ahead.
You just mentioned it, so
Go ahead.
So out of 0 to 100%, when a new client comes to you,
Mm-hmm.
what would you consider your average client being, like 50% prepared, like all set up, 75% like all set up, like I'm talking insurances and retirement. So like when a person comes to you, are they either A, like just absolutely screwed, like they're just not doing anything right yet, or like B, are they like halfway? You know, like where are they when they come to you, on average?
So, on average, that's tough to say because there's mix.
Okay.
You'll have your 40-year-olds that, yeah, I want to start my 401k. You should have did that 20 years ago, my friend. You're screwed. You're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But there are people that have some stuff in place, but there's gaps. There's always gaps. So, to put it simply, it's no one.
It's a wide variety.
No one, on an average, nobody has all this stuff put together.
Okay.
No.
So why I ask that question is because it's important, because some people do have like some things together, but not all. And I want to make it clear that like even if you like have say 50% of your life set up, like you got your like you say you have your insurance and like you have a savings account, but you're not in retirement, like they can still go to you, even if you're like
right
on the right track. It's important.
Even if you think you got your shit together, there's probably something he could do to help you.
That's
Is what you're saying.
You don't need to be in a complete like
right
waste
100%.
bucket to come to you. That's pretty much
100%.
That's a great point too. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so just to bounce back to what I was saying prior to that is I was talking about a meeting I went to. So we communicated back and forth for probably, I'd say a week and a half tops, about you coming on. We wanted you on. We think it would be a good episode. I think it is it is a good episode as we're going.
It's gonna be great.
But
he likes it.
there was some stuff you kind of, and I mean, I really like, I think it was cool how motivated you were to actually like be organized and be prepared. You wanted to get me in your office, or one of us or both of us in your office, to kind of give us a feel for what you do,
right? So
we could ask like some more informed / educational questions. So with that being said, I went to his office Wednesday, I want to say.
It was this week.
This past week, Wednesday, I think I went to his office, and we had probably about a 2-hour and 15-minute meeting. Went over my exact, like my literal like finances, what I really make, if I have a 401k, all those factors, which we won't actually talk about. But we went over my exact credentials, everything I have, everything I do, the money I make, to an extent. And he kind of just brought me through the process of what he does. And I want you to talk about that, but I also want to commend you as far as like being able to take it professional to a way. So like, me and you were boys, like we're cool. We don't hang out or anything like that, but we're always cool and never had an issue. So I thought when I go, like walking in, I thought we were just going to be like chopping it up sort of thing. Oh, this is what I do, blah, blah, blah. It was very professional. I mean, you kept it like real. You kept it like you were trying to be my financial advisor. And to be blunt, I mean, he really does know his shit. I mean, that's not just me saying, I didn't say he is my financial advisor. I didn't sign any papers, nothing like that. But he knows his shit. He knows what he's talking about. You could tell he's educated and informed. Sorry for the stutter. And I just think it was really cool the way you could kind of flip that switch. So I just want you to kind of talk about why you wanted me to come in, and then I'll talk about what my experience was while I was in there.
Well, first off, thank you, and I appreciate that.
No problem.
That means a lot to me, actually, because this is I try to practice my craft every single day. This is something I eat, breathe, sleep. Anyway, well, first off, you want to be honest. I wanted you my client.
It's not out of the question yet. It's just it just wasn't the right setting to do it. It's not out of the question. I just think me going in there with the mindset of, oh, this is for the podcast. Is a lot different than me going in there like, all right, I'm looking for a financial advisor. So I'm definitely down to have another meeting and like take it serious. But I went in there with the intentions that it was for
podcast.
This.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and I agree because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
But I just wanted you in this type of setting. There's just so much to it. Like, obviously, we started off kind of like scrambled.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I wanted you to at least have an understanding of the whole process, right? Most people think, like, I honestly couldn't even tell you what most people think before they come in. Like, how is it going to go? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they probably think I'm going to talk most of the time, but you probably realize quickly that you were the one talking most of the time.
Yeah, probably at least 70% of it was me talking, for sure.
Yeah, because it's, as I said, we were trying to figure out your snapshot of your life, your financial life. We wanted to see where you are, where your goals are, what are your objectives, what are your short-term goals, what are your mid-term, long-term, what's important to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I wanted you to walk through the process. Man, we were in there for a good hour and a half.
I think more than
Just
that. It was
talking.
closer to 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, just
And it didn't feel like that at all. Honestly.
nah, yeah. And honestly, I think a lot of people when they go through the process, they're like, "Hey, that was actually kind of fun and interesting because it made me think. It made me actually like, because most people. So, do you think Tom Brady and Bill Belichick go into the Super Bowl without a game plan?
No, not at all.
Right.
I mean, honestly, at this point in their careers, they might. It's probably
Nah,
just like,
do
yo,
you think-
Brady, do your
Very well
shit.
might at this point.
If you're building a house or anything, are you gonna build it
Blueprint.
without a blueprint?
No.
No. Right. So that's why I wanted you to go through the process to see that the whole financial planning side of it. So now we could take it back to my team. We analyze it. We could spit you out a whole plan. Very comprehensive. I know you looked at it. It was probably like 60 pages.
Yeah, I looked at. Honestly, I probably
Uh,
looked at about half of it, but
and-
I did read it. Yeah.
And it literally quantifies everything.
Yeah.
Like from emergency savings that we need to get to, the amount of retirement you need to save if that's your goal to retire at X age, stuff like that.
That was the cool part for me was, like you just said, the quantification of it. So taking my words and putting a monetary value on what I said. So
right.
okay, you said this happens, or you make this, or you do this, or you like to spend this much, or you have this many kids. He took those words and said, okay, based on what you said, this is how much money you're going to need for this, and this is how much money you should put here. And that was the cool part, because I'm not necessarily a numbers guy, but I'm like a facts guy, I guess you could say, and they could go hand in hand. And that literally like showed me, like, okay, based on what you said, this is what you need to do to get here. And that's back to the holistic thing.
It's your plan.
It's comprehensive. It shows you what you need to do to get to where you want to be based on what you have. It's a full circle plan. But back to my experience real quick. Not to be selfish, I'll touch on it and we're out of here. It was a great experience. Like I said already once, I don't think it was the time for me to do it, only because I went in there with the mindset of, hey, come here, I want you to like get some information because I'm coming on your podcast. I didn't go in there thinking, hey, let's take this serious and I could potentially like hire him.
You didn't
and
know it was going to be that serious.
Not that I didn't know it was going to be that serious, it's that I didn't really care. I was like, I know he's going to pitch me his scheme or whatever. Like, not that it's a scheme, anybody.
Yeah,
but I know you're going to give me your pitch and like
Right.
talk to me. But I was only there saying, okay, based on what he said, I got this question for the podcast. That's where my mind was. And I even talked to you the whole time. Everything I said, I was like, oh, I'm not asking this for myself. I'm asking for the podcast. And I'm sure you caught on to that. So I definitely would like to meet again, like on our terms, not on podcast terms.
No, yeah.
But the experience overall, I mean, I'd rate it like an 8 out of 10. Like it was great. I had no issues. I just wish I was there for myself rather than the podcast. But I mean, podcast comes first, as always. So,
For the brand.
that's
No,
why.
Yeah.
That's why we did it like that.
This is your business too, so we're building.
For sure.
I think this whole thing is important because when you want something done, you go to a professional for it. If I want a house built, I'm going to call a contractor for it. If I want my boat fixed, I'm going to go to a boat repair guy. Like, when I do my job, I do it well. I don't do the financial side, and I shouldn't have to. There's people that do that for a reason, right? Like, you do your job because you're a professional in the industry. Like, when I go to you, like, I don't want to have to do it. Like, if I'm going to you, then I don't want to have to worry about anything. Like, so
Right.
I want to put my shit in your hands, and then you take it.
Not
and
have to
run
think
with
about it.
And that's the whole, like, when you're going to an industry, like, you do your job and you do it well. You don't want to have to do 4 other jobs well. Like, that's why you make your money, so then you can slowly go down the line and, okay, this guy, I need him to do this for me. I need this guy to do this for me. And I'll do this for myself. So I think it's important when you're looking at this because when you're doing your job, you shouldn't have to worry about, oh, where's my money going? I got to be on the stock market. Oh, crap, I got to move this fund. You shouldn't have to worry about that.
There's only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah, like you shouldn't have to.
You're worried about your stuff.
Yeah, and that's why there's people in every single industry that are professionals that you can call and say, okay, I need this done for me. I think it's important for you because you're in the industry of finance. And, like, there's not if you didn't go to school for finance, you're probably not a fucking professional in it.
Right.
So I think it's important to consider the offerings you're giving right now, because I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to worry about where my money is. I want to worry about making my money, coming home, relaxing, and doing whatever I have to do. Not my money after you're just made it. That's just, you're sitting there after a while. You're like, I have no time today. If you're sitting there on your computer looking at your 401k, oh crap, it went down. I gotta sell. Gotta do this. Gotta do that. So I think financial advisement is very important.
Because absolutely, it's just as important as your health. It's like, are you gonna break your leg? Are you gonna go see a doctor? I hope.
You're not
right?
gonna fix yourself.
Right.
You know what? I broke my leg. I'm gonna just do this. No.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's important to consider. Like, I'm not saying everyone is right for you. I mean,
they are.
Oh.
No, and I'll tell you why later. But I totally get what you're saying. Everybody has the expertise. I put in the hard work, obviously, to get where I am now. I obviously took a whole change of lifestyle, everything. We were all clowns in high school.
Yeah, I mean, we all had fun.
Right. Yeah, we had a good time. Probably still do sometimes, but
always.
But it's seriously, it took a lot of grind, hard work. People don't see that. The closed doors. Yeah, it's literally, I went to school for 7 years. I got my Series 6, 65. So it was a lot of work that people just don't understand, and you just got to put your trust in those people that they're gonna do the best for you.
To be honest,
that's just how business works.
Yeah. I don't and to be completely frank, right? I don't care how long someone worked to get where they are. Just like when someone comes to me, they don't care about, you had to do this, do that. They're putting their trust in me. They're putting their trust in you, right? So that's all that matters at the end. They want to be able to trust you,
right?
And they don't care the backstory. And I'm not saying for you. I'm saying for in any industry. I don't care. My boat repair guy went through this, that. I'm bringing my business to you because I can trust you. And I think that's I'm gonna shoot it back to you again. That's what I'd hope for you. I want to be able to trust you.
Right.
You did your work. Now it's time to start spreading that to your customers, right?
I get what you're saying. I think what you're saying is that relationship's important.
It's important. It's very important.
The relationship's important.
The relationship's important.
And you need to have trust.
Yeah.
Right. And that's with anything, not to cut you off, right?
Right.
We talked about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
more important than a lot of things.
Yeah, absolutely. But to also combat that, though, I want my accountant to have a degree. You know what I mean? I want my accountant to have. I want him to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
credentials.
I should rephrase that.
I don't know necessarily with what he just said. Honestly, not to argue. I always play devil's advocate. You know that now too.
Oh yeah.
And this might sound idiotic. I may at times. I don't care what the degree the person has. If they have the title and they earned it, why does it matter? Just like that new thing in the NBA with LeBron's agent or whatever. They wanted all NBA agents to go back to get a bachelor's degree. He's one of the best agents. What's his name? You might know.
Rich Paul.
Rich Paul. They want all NBA agents or professional athletes agents to have a bachelor's degree. He's one of the best agent in the market for sports and basketball players professionally. And you want him to have credentials to do his job that he's been doing well for 15 plus years. So I understand there's smaller things, not that an accountant is less than an agent,
but I don't care your backstory.
That's what he's saying.
I want to trust you.
We're both saying we don't care what your credentials are.
Right.
If you have the title, you've obviously earned it, or we're hoping you've earned it. So just do your job correctly.
So I think it goes hand in hand too. So why do you think you go in the doctor's office? Why do you think they got all their designations on the wall?
Because some people feel more comfortable seeing a fucking plaque with a gold thing that says I graduated from Harvard Med School or wherever.
And what does that build though?
What?
What does that build? Trust, right?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. For some people, I could walk into a doctor's.
For some people,
you get what I'm saying too.
I trust a relationship like a relationship I've built over years, over credentials. That's just me. Some people want to see that plaque on the wall. But it's where you come.
I don't base my relationships off your credentials. I base my relationships off of our interactions.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I'm not saying if my doctor, serious, that was the weirdest way to say doctor. If my doctor comes into me and has no plaques on his wall and he says, yeah, man, I've been fixing fucking legs for 30 years. Nah, I'm not going to trust him. But if he
Right.
sounds educated, we have great conversations, he makes me comfortable. I don't care if there's a plaque on your fucking wall. And there might be people that do.
Yeah.
But I think based on the way I judge people and their character, I'd rather have an interaction with you socially and network and talk and verbally
Okay.
speak rather than see a bunch of pictures on the wall, have my doctor come in with Apple or AirPods on and fucking take out a scalpel. Like I don't care if you got 30 plaques. If you ain't talking to me, I don't want to.
Right. Yeah.
I think you kind of agree both ways. 'Cause
Right.
me and you talked about networking and social interactions, and we think they're very important. So I definitely see your side, but I still stick with what I said. I'd
There's
rather.
validity to both sides.
There's an argument for either way, but I'd rather have a social interaction.
Well, I think we could all agree on that. Having both is the best.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
We could all
that
agree
would be
on
excellent.
That.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we get both of those.
so
and
if
you're in a good
we
spot.
could agree on that.
Yes, for
So-
sure.
All right. We agree on that for sure. All right. So back to my list of questions as always. I'm not trying to roast, but RJ, why do you always laugh at me when I get back to my list of
You about to
questions?
roast me?
Huh?
You about to roast me?
No, I'm not gonna
Oh,
roast
no,
you because
but-
you have this question already. But I'm sure a lot of people are thinking it.
What?
And actually, I'm kind of thinking it as well.
Okay.
Only to ask, how much of your job or profession is a sales pitch? And I understand, and you can talk on this as well. You don't work based off commission. I understand that. Let's set that precedent right now. You personally said you don't work solely off commission.
So I work 3 different ways. to
Yeah,
get
well,
paid.
yeah. So I'm just saying
Yeah.
solely.
No, not
Yes.
solely.
So yeah,
No, no.
solely you do not. So I just wanted to set that so everyone understands.
No,
He
not
does not
solely.
make his money based on how many people sign up, and that's the only income he has. So I just want to make sure they know that. But I also, when you've spoken to me, and we spoke probably multiple times in this past week, you've said a lot of the same things. Is that based on your training and knowledge and classes you've taken, or is there something that's like, hey, if you work for blah blah company, this is the pitch you give to each client? If you see what I'm saying,
Yes,
it's almost like if
yes. No.
every client walks in, are you saying the same thing to them, using the same words? Because that's when it starts to feel like more of a sales pitch rather than
Right.
here I'm here to help you.
Right. So I get what you're saying. I think it's a little bit of when you say training and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
taking courses,
you-
education.
You are taught like specific language. Obviously, you learn specific language when you start to talk to people. You create interactions. It's a little easier when you have your language down. You approach language. You're not just gonna wing it when you want. Like this guy right here makes $250,000, and I want to talk to him. Right? I'm not just gonna wing it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna be prepared. I hope so.
Might better be.
So. So it's I don't know. I think in a way that we're all salespeople. We all sell ourselves in some.
We all sell our personalities, but
Right.
do you sell? I don't want to say the company. Do you sell your expertise, your field of expertise? Do you sell that to get more clients? Do you sell, like, say there's napkins on the table with plates and whatever. Just say I want to sell you that silverware right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you the same sales pitch every single time, and I want you to buy. I don't care if you buy it, but I want the next guy to buy it. Does that how you work? Does it not matter how many people walk in? You just want to get a certain percentage of them, or do you actually care about the person that walks in your office, and you are going to have individual conversations with them rather than, okay, here's the plan. I said this word, and this word. If they don't take it, hey, sucks for fucking you. I got the next guy coming in.
No. So all right. 2 things.
Roast.
Huh?
No.
I'm not roasting him.
I don't take it as a roast. 'Cause
No.
I think maybe that.
What?
I like it.
I'm not-
know.
I like.
Are
it
you
too.
offended at these questions?
No.
Oh,
you're wrong. I'm not saying that you like. I'm saying like that was like a hot take.
And I like it.
Oh,
I like
was gonna
it.
say, I'll cut it if you think I'm roasting.
No.
I don't come out here to make people
No,
look bad.
no.
Hell no.
I like you put
All right,
me on the
good.
spot like
If I'm
that
offended you,
because-
let me know, 'cause I don't do
It
that.
was a hot take.
Okay.
I think this is because it's maybe something that the general perception might think. So cool. I'll love to address it. All right. So all right. refresh my-
Is your
Oh, okay,
basically the
okay.
question was,
Sales,
are you
sales,
a
sales,
salesman?
sales,
Do you
sales.
have individual pitches to
So
different people?
Two things. Our conversation, right, when we talked,
Yeah.
was very like
Individualized,
Right.
But is that because you know me?
No.
Okay.
No. sincerely want to impact every single person I meet with.
Okay.
Right? As in language, as in saying certain things, like you're talking about selling these napkins to me.
Yeah.
You start saying the same thing over again, I bet you get pretty freaking good at
Oh,
doing
yeah.
what you're doing. So I guess what I'm saying is everything is individualized, but the process of it that involves certain language. You know what I mean? Like
That's a really good. Actually, it's better than the answer I thought I was going to get.
I'm always gonna get affirmations from you. Like, tell me more about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want you, because I want to get you talking.
Yeah.
I want to hear the real. I want to get the. I want to know the inner Mason, because if I don't, I'm not gonna be able to do a good job.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess that answers your question. I don't know if that cleared it up.
No, it did. It was actually a better answer than I thought. Not that I didn't think you could give the answer. I just thought it was a tough question.
I'm gonna give a hot take. I'm gonna give a hot take to you right now.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna hot take it.
Hey, we got all the hot
Because
takes.
I've gotten so many messages on LinkedIn
Or phone calls.
or phone calls from financial advisors.
Oh, talk about that too when he's
will.
done.
And like, if you approach me and were like, RJ, like, you should take a look at this. It's different because
Right.
I know you. I have a relationship with you. I get people that will send messages about a paragraph, and they'll say, blah 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 blah. Come in. I think it's important. You're working in this job. They know where my salary, so they know that I make money. So because they can look on Glassdoor or on LinkedIn, they know that I'm in a position where I should be looking for services like you, right? And the problem is, I don't like getting those generic messages on LinkedIn. You have never done that, so I'm not. This is not a blast on Griggs at all. I don't think he'd ever do that to me. Like, I just
No.
But people, this is the pitch I get. Hey, I saw we went to school together. I think I have a great opportunity for you, to secure your future or whatever. And this is like a generic message I get from alumni from my school.
Right.
I don't like it.
Right.
If you want my business, don't say, oh, you gotta come to the office, you gotta do this. No, because I shouldn't have to, right?
No.
I should. If you want my business, I should be catered to. I should feel like
You're the client.
I'm the client. I should be, I'll take you out to dinner, da da da. No, I just get these messages like constantly. I could pull up my phone. Like I got like in the last year since I started my job, I probably got 6 messages. And not from Northwestern Mutual, so I don't even.
No.
Northwestern Mutual.
Everybody
never
has
reached out
the
to me.
different strategies, but
This is actually like a pro Northwestern Mutual. No one from Northwestern Mutual has reached out to me with that pitch. It's other clients in the top 5 that have reached out to me and done this. And guess what? You do that, you're not getting my business.
Right.
Like, if you said, "Hey, RJ, let's go out to dinner, talk, let's reminisce about SUNY. I have a new gig. I want to see if you'd be interested." That's a different story.
Right.
I'd be like, "You want to go out to dinner? Fine. I'll give you. I would be more than willing to give someone that's graduated with me a chance to succeed. I'm all about that. I'm all about helping people. Like, I was helped to get to where I am. People need help.
Right.
Like, that's just a fact. So, it's just, don't come at me with a generic pitch.
So, are you asking me what I do?
I'm asking, like, are you reaching out on social media? One.
So, okay.
And are you sending copy and paste messages?
Oh.
'Cause I'm getting those.
Heck no. Never.
Okay.
Never. It's always personalized. With me, it's literally. So, one thing, just off record, yeah, the phoning thing's a big thing. One of the big things. Obviously, you went through that.
Yeah.
The whole phone, like, or, hey, long ass paragraph, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Hey, long ass paragraph.
This is how I look at it. Is like, I would never sit there and just be like, hey, this is what I do, blah, blah. Come to my office, and I would be like, I would literally come to you as a friend
Yeah.
and be like, let me see if I could be a resource. That's it.
And that's
if I could be a resource, cool. If not, cool.
Yeah.
Either way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and be like, just calls just from random stranger, like
they're cold calls. They're straight cold calls.
Yeah,
And that's like the bonus way. They're cold calls on LinkedIn. Now that we're in a cold call region where now in a day and age where we use the internet more than we use phones, they're just sending messages out. They don't care.
And they
don't care if they message
ineffective,
back.
very ineffective.
I would hope so, because if you're responding to these messages that are just blatant.
I had a delivery.
Thanks, Soleil. Our delivery girl.
Thanks.
Wait, did you guys order pizza or something?
And you're not doing
White Claws.
I
We'd like a sponsors too, please.
I want one person to reach out to me after hearing this podcast and be like, yeah, I responded to a cold call and I bought the service. I will be amazed if that happens. I will be amazed if that happens.
Yeah. That delivery was huge. You can go.
So,
what do you got?
Okay, so how would you feel about this though, RJ? Me and Mason just worked together. Mason just became a client of mine. And I'm not sure if we talked about this.
We did. That's why I wanted you. That's why I wanted you to talk about it.
I work on a referral basis only.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is me and Mason we just work together. Hey Mason, did you find any value out of the conversation? Yeah. Like, is there anybody else in your life, like family, friends, that should be having this same conversation? He's like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, is it all right if I get his name, number, and I can reach out to him just to see if I could be a resource to him as well?
Okay.
And then I'll be like, hey RJ, it's Jon Griggs from Northwestern. Did Mason let you know how to reach out? Blah blah.
Okay.
Would that be
that's different?
That's different.
Because that's coming from a mutual friend,
right?
Where they're saying, I respect this guy, you'll respect him also. That is a lot different than a cold call.
Okay.
Because I trust Mason, therefore I trust you. If he trusts you, it's all
okay.
It's mutual. You see,
yeah,
it's
full circle
mutual.
relationship.
So I just wanted to clear, because that's how I operate.
That's different.
I operate on just a referral basis only. I'll never cold call.
All right, my question to you is,
I don't got time
just to
for
clear that up, do you operate on a referral basis only, or does your whole company operate?
My whole company works on a referral basis
just
only.
to clarify that. I knew that.
Yeah, our whole company.
Your whole company works based solely off
basis
referrals.
only.
That's like a lot more respectable, whatever, than people just sending out a mass message saying, hey, you want a service? And if they get one reply, then they're good. Like that is not personal. And if you're gonna do that, then why the hell do you care about me?
Well, that's just they want a transaction, and that's it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's it.
All right,
when
so
you're dealing with people's money, that's the most important thing in the world.
And when
Relationships.
when we're dealing with people's money, it's no transaction over here. This is
now I got a serious question.
Yeah, that's what it needs to be.
So based on that whole conversation we just had, this is my personal question. It's not on the sheet.
No, okay.
Based on that conversation you just had, and prior knowledge that I have, when you make a plan with somebody, you follow up on that plan 2 times a year, 6 months and 12 months. It's however you want to explain it, but that's how you follow up on it. You'll meet with them at any given time. They could be once a week if you want. You're always open to have clients come in and talk.
I'll come to your house.
But you follow up on those questions, on those the plan twice a year. That's like the precedent you guys set. My question is, based on what you guys just said, what do you do the rest of the time? If you only work on a referral basis and you only follow up on your clients' plans twice a year, you have that many referrals to complete the other 300 days. What do you do when you're not either following up on a client's plan or working on a referral basis only and contacting a new client?
I'm meeting with new people. What do you mean?
Okay, so I guess it kind of comes.
Oh, that's an unfair question.
Why?
I'll say it's unfair because the size of Northwestern Mutual would keep him busy for years.
But that's
They
my
buy the
question.
referrals. That's what I'm saying.
That's my question. So if you're working on referrals, so say it comes down to math, which anyone who's listening who knows me knows I'm horrible at. Say you had 25 clients, which you probably have more. I don't know. I don't care. That's just a general number. Say you had 25 clients and they each had one friend. So you're at 50 now.
Mm-hmm.
Say half of them joined, so you're at whatever, probably 40 overall clients.
Mm-hmm.
How do you what do you do when you either A, aren't following up on a client's plan because it's either their 6-month or their 12-month revisit time, and you have no referrals? There has to be a point, because I'm saying just for you, because you just started, so your network can't be that huge yet. You don't have 500 people you're calling a day, and you don't have that many plans, or I don't think you do, that you're at a 6-month or 12-month period every couple days. So what are you doing when you're not? Like, I'm basically, what I'm saying is you don't have enough referrals to talk to every single day, right?
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
I do though.
Okay, so you answered it.
If you only give me one referral, I'll be pissed. No, I'm joking.
He's not kidding. No, he's not kidding.
No, I'll tell you a story though, because this is one person I thought was gonna give me the most referrals. My own mother she was my first client, right? Obviously, she's my own mother.
Respect.
And she's the director of operations of HB Hood, so she makes probably like close to 300, 200. She's in that range. So
Congrats.
So
Goddamn.
yeah, she was a nice paycheck. She was a nice first paycheck.
Oh my god.
But the thing is, you want to know how many referrals she gave me? Guess. Wild guess.
I'm gonna say. Well, I feel like I should say 0 here, right?
Donut. Complete donut.
0 referrals from
Zero
a client.
from my
from a
mother.
client that's his relative and making about 200 plus thousand a year.
From my own mother, right? But
Yeah.
then you run into some people be like, listen, I'm giving you 40 like right now because they all need you. They all need to have this conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a consistent thing. There's some people that will give me 50 or I got even more than that one time. I got like 80 something. But literally there'll be times that people won't give me any.
Something that kind of makes sense to me is, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No. I get. So I think what you were asking is, do I have enough volume of like
to keep yourself busy at all times
Right.
if you only work on a referral basis?
So, all right. So obviously, so I think you had another question about like how my day goes.
That's basically what this question is.
I could tie it into that, right?
That's what this is.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm a very habitual person. Like I believe in habits. Without habits, like so I wake up, always go to the gym first. I believe sharp mind, sharp bodies. I believe in all that. And then I go into the office, and I have to do all my administrative stuff. Obviously, I'm not. So, in our industry, in our company, you got advisors that might be making $2 million, and the guys that are starting out, it's like there's a big gap. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, well of course.
There's a huge gap. So, the guys that are making these head advisors, they got teams. Like they got staffs.
Fireworks on the real bar.
They got staffs, so they're doing all the administrative work. As of right now, obviously, my contract started in April. I can't hire a whole staff by myself because I run my own practice technically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm doing the administrative stuff by myself. So after the administrative stuff, I'm trying to touch base with everybody. Then I'm going through my daily meetings, and then after I gotta do more administrative stuff, and then I'm creating the plans. You gotta remember, these plans don't just spit out themselves. Mason, not even come on,
I don't know if you
host.
Dude, I'm the host. I gotta listen and look for the next question. I am listening though.
We're not worried about the next question.
I'm listening.
We're staying on. We're staying focused.
I know what you're saying. For sure.
It's a full day though.
If I'm not looking at you, I can hear you in my headset.
One, I'm gonna say that your company's so big. The company's so big, and the network outreach has got to be so big that I used to do this. I worked at AmeriQ,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to make calls for insurance. People would go to AmeriQ, and they would say, "I'm interested in your insurance," right?
Mm-hmm.
So they go in the database, and I would spend my day, literally my whole day, calling people because there's so many, and that's just people saying that they want it. This isn't people referring. So I can imagine, like, and your database, you got to have 50 people that you have to call, like, just always there, that it just keeps replenishing because you get one person, if they like you, they're gonna refer, on average, let's say they look in their database and say 20 people, their LinkedIn or their friend group or whatever. So I can imagine your database being 50 wide,
Right.
constantly.
Uh-huh.
If you make 50 calls, 50 meetings, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I can see that alone being a full
Especially
day.
only if 10 of them answer and give you a full conversation. Like,
but then if you
I get what you
meeting
mean.
with them, that's what was your meeting? How long was it? I don't think it was.
Mine and his about 2 hours.
So 2 hours, and that was not even was that
Fireworks
show.
It's a good adjustment.
That wasn't really a full
Right, it wasn't
meeting.
even a full
So
one.
say he gets a full meeting two
We were
times a
t-
week, then I mean, I could see that being.
It's
Oh no, I completely understand. I was just asking to clarify.
You were-
Like,
okay.
I know that he probably has
Yeah.
more than enough. I just know he just started. He's 6 months in or 4 months in. I wanted him to explain how or what he does during a day if you only work on a referral basis. And like you said, you can have that much work to do. Like,
and I'll be completely honest. The other part of the time is I'm a believer in continuous education because I'll be the first. I don't know everything. I gotta keep up and keep educating myself every day because I want to be the best at what I do.
Yeah.
In order to do that, I have to just continue to grind.
For sure. 2 more questions. I'm going to put them in as one. Basically, and you already said this, but I want you to actually talk about it.
Yep.
Do you work only at the office? I mean, I saw your Bluetooth headphone, or whatever. I know you talk on the phone. I'm just saying, like, I know you can work in the car, like, talk to people while you're driving, whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
But say there's someone who, like, they don't like to leave their house, blah, blah, blah. Like, do you do house calls is my first question. Like, will you go to wherever that client or potential client wants you to go? And then
Absolutely.
the second part of that question is, what is one thing that you would tell anyone, I mean, basically right now, like on the platform, that doesn't know what you do, basically about the risk? Is there a risk? Like, you know what I'm saying? If you can answer both of those at the same time.
Let's break them down to each one because I don't know.
Yeah, you can break them down however. I just wanted to ask them both. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go to your house. I'll come to you. I know. I try to, obviously, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm a serve the client, right?
And that's important.
I'm
because
gonna come to you if you.
someone was like, "Yeah, you have to come to me." Bye.
Right,
That's just straight. That's me straight up. Like, if you want me as a client, I better be getting catered to because it's my money that I've worked for, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, and you're pitching me to manage it. So why should I have to drive an hour and a half? Like, I'm just saying, I'm throwing an hour and a half out there.
And my office is New Hartford, so it's so for Rome people to come out to New Hartford.
Just to kind of put that in
I'm
perspective.
just saying, like, if it was an hour and a half away.
No, even a 20-minute drive.
It's
like,
I'm not driving.
But for me and you to put that in perspective before he goes, it's kind of what we do with this. So we do ask people to come to us. We do tell them where to come.
Yeah.
But we'll go anywhere for anybody.
If you said you want to come on the podcast, but I can't get there,
we'll
mobilize a fucking flight because we're here to serve.
We do work like really strictly on a time schedule. We do like to make sure the person is here, the date and the time they said. But if we set a date and a time and you say, hey, we need you 2 hours away, we'll bring the podcast to you, and that's what he's saying.
If Derek Jeter said, I want to come on the podcast, but you have to fly to Texas to do this.
Yeah.
We're on the next plane to Texas.
Exactly, and that's what he's
the
saying.
thing.
You're going to go above and beyond for your client, correct?
Yes.
And that's how it should be.
Yes.
In order to build that trust we talked about throughout the whole episode, like if I should be able to trust you to come in my home, you sit down at my dinner table, and to help me with my future, right?
Yeah.
Like that's how.
And
trust
you're probably
builds.
more comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Talking
that's
about
how it
that.
should be.
Right. And so that's why if you look in the backseat of my car, it's full of bins and just of just paperwork and just material. So absolutely. But
All
I
right.
forgot what was
and then the second question was, what is one thing you would want to like tell people that are like skeptical about either hiring or consulting a financial advisor / planner? Like, what is one thing where like it's just an end all statement where you're like almost like why wouldn't you sort of thing? Is there like one statement you can tell anyone who's like, I really want to, but I don't know, blah blah blah? Like, is there one statement you have that could just like end all like critics or skeptics sort of thing?
I could shoot a few at this one. First off, you had nothing to lose. I'm a financial planner. Did you pay anything for your whole plan? Obviously, it was just
I mean, you didn't give me gas money though. And I paid $0 to go out there.
Listen, I literally want to help everybody. When I literally sincerely say that, like, I want to help everybody.
Yeah.
So after I create plans, people are like, oh wow, like I really do need to get my stuff together and prepare for the future and become financially secure. What was it? And you want to know what else? What else was it?
I mean, basically, your first sentence ended it. I said, "What is one thing you could tell like any like critics or skeptics or stereotypical people about like coming to with no risk?" And that was literally your answer: is there is no risk. You said there's nothing to lose.
And
so can you just touch on why there's nothing to lose? Because people are going to say the first answer they're going to say is, "Well, I had my money to lose." So what's your?
Yeah.
I just want not me once again. What is your answer to like? That's what people are going to say. What do you mean I have nothing to lose? I have my money to lose if I'm trusting you with my money.
Right. So that's where the term financial planning comes into take. You know, we want to build a plan and then see if we could be a resource. So there's a process to it. We're not just like, hey, give me your money and you'll be here. That's it. No.
Yeah.
We need to know your goals, your objectives. What are the needs for you, your family? So basically, in my opinion, you might be irresponsible if you're not sitting down and just doing that.
Yeah.
So that's.
No, I mean I answered my question perfectly. You have some?
One question I want to ask, because it's very important. Everything, like, so say I tell you my salary, say I sit down with you. I tell you my salary, my life savings, all my assets, blah, 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 everything. Because when you open up your financial books, you're telling your life story. Like, you're telling everything you have. And that's, like, probably the most intimate thing in someone's life, right? Like, how much money do you have? Like, you're telling your whole life.
Right.
You talk about money, pretty
Right.
much. Like, what's to stop you from, like, telling your buddy, oh, RJ makes this much. You know, like,
dude, what?
well, I'm setting him up for the question. I mean, it's definitely a setup question because I already know the answer to it. But it's important for people that are listening to know that answer.
Well, obviously, we all know the privacy is a big issue right now.
Yeah,
with everything. I lose my license straight. Period. You're done after that.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a lawyer. It's all confidential.
So it's confident.
It's all confidential.
Okay.
Like if Mason might have gave you the folder, like even if you look at the questionnaire thing, it's confidential. Like I'm legally like I cannot say anything about, not even to other advisors unless like we're working on the case together.
Mm-hmm.
So
so I can say specifically based on my circumstances. Right now, him sitting here, he knows how much money I make, how much I have in my checkings account or savings if I have both. He knows if I have a 401k. He personally knows all this information. I don't know that he hasn't told anyone, but like I'm comfortable with him knowing it. So I guess basically what RJ was trying to do is ask a question to let the viewers or people know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the question.
When we bring guests on the podcast, like we're like technically recommending their services. Like we're like if you wouldn't come on, you wouldn't be on here if we didn't think that you would be like beneficial to our viewers.
To the people listening,
I'm not
for
gonna
sure.
let like the people that follow us like constantly. Like I want them to know. They need to know.
Yeah, so he's
They're
not,
trusting us.
so what he's saying is Griggs and John, his nickname Griggs, last name Griggs, whatever.
Yeah,
he's not out here on some like freelance shit. Like
Nah.
yo, like, give me your
He's
money.
binded by law.
Yeah, he by the law and all the regulations he has and whatever, everything he has, certificate, everything he's done. It's almost like HIPAA law, like medical information. You can't.
Oh, FSMA.
What?
FSMA.
Well,
It's called FSMA.
HIPAA,
Okay, I didn't know that.
HIPAA's just like the access to medical records.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. But it's like the same concept. He can't disclose any of your information legally. So if that was like one of your like deal breakers, like I know him. I've known him since high school. I don't want him to
Or,
know
like,
how much
you're in
I
a
make.
Bad spot.
Yeah. First of all, he
yes, I completely understand that. 100%.
Yeah.
First of all, he doesn't care how much you make or how much you have in your account. Second of all, it's his job to help you. So it doesn't matter if you're in a bad spot or if you've known him forever and you're afraid of, I don't want Jon Griggs to know how much. Like, it doesn't matter. He's a professional, and his job is to help you get from where you are to a better spot or set you and or your family up for the future. He's not here to fucking, oh, I know how much this person makes, and oh, you'll check the yearbook. This person right here, he don't give a fuck. All that shit doesn't matter. Correct?
I couldn't have said that better. I couldn't have said that
I
better.
think that's like personally, I'm a very private person. Like, I don't want people knowing like what I do, like my like personal move. Like, I try to keep that shit low key. Like,
Yeah.
it's no one's business,
Right.
and no one wants to hear about it. So like, I try to keep my. But with you coming on the podcast, a lot of our listeners know you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have the right to know that when they come to you, that's a bond you guys are forming. It's just between, like, Mason literally told, like, you could have diverged. I don't know.
No, you're right.
Divulge any of his information right now. But this whole podcast, we talked about his experience, and there was not one word about Mason's salary or Mason's savings. So I think that's like my biggest concern when I go to a financial advisor. Like, I don't want
The gossip.
people
People knowing your
I could be a
information
fucking
and then
millionaire.
disclosing
I just want
it.
people to know.
So-
Or I could be poor as shit. No, I want it's
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Either way,
See-
I don't want people to know.
see-
It's my business.
You also got to look at, so yeah, 100%, I agree. Yeah, literally, I'd hope they lock me up for life if I ever did something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
look at the thing is, if you're a smart business owner, you're gonna do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously, doing the right thing, you're gonna get more business.
Yeah.
So that's just what it simply comes down to. You got to be, your best interest has to be into the client.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yep.
If
Yeah.
you-
I think
that's
I think that was probably the most important thing about financial that I was always worried about.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I'm not in a great spot. I'm not in a bad spot. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You don't want people just throwing your shit around.
absolutely not.
That's
And
your
that
business.
and that would never happen. Definitely with Northwest. No.
Yeah.
No. That never
Exactly. That kind of leads me into another question. We don't have many left, but that literally led me into another question. Is based on the confidentiality and just other factors of your job and what you spoke of, and me and you discussed this as well. What kind of person, if any, would you recommend to do your job? Like, do they have to have certain values, morals, standards? Like, what kind of person, like, if you had to describe some type of person with, okay, they got to be like this, they got to have this, that, what kind of person would you recommend, like, yo, you would be good in this field?
So, without saying it in the most arrogant way, because I don't want to be like, oh, you got to be.
Yeah, you don't want to say, oh, you got to be cocky, you got to be cute. Like, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We're the real bar for a reason.
Yeah, just be real. Be honest. There's no arrogant on this podcast.
You
You're
have
honest.
to be. You have to be a certain breed, because literally, it's not an easy job. Like, you got to be dedicated. Like you said, you got to be trustworthy. You got to. I don't know. It's like you got to. It's hard to find. Like, just not anybody could do this. Plain and simple. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not saying you guys can. I'm pretty.
It's not arrogance. It's just you being honest.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
like
arrogance.
I'm not
No,
trying
I
to sit
personally
here
don't think that.
and be like, "Yo, you need to be all this because I'm all that." No, I just think you got to be a disciplined person.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah, I
you got to be
know.
disciplined.
That's for any job.
and
Like,
motivated. Right.
any job.
For
I
any
wouldn't be
profession.
Like, oh, you could just join. You could just get in my industry and be successful. No, you have to have everyone has to have a certain. You have to be interested in it.
You gotta love it.
If you don't love it, you're not gonna give your full.
I agree.
So that's one thing.
I agree.
And
100%.
two, you said it. You said that like you have to be ready to give it all. You have to give your hard work. And
Eat,
that's-
breathe, sleep it. You gotta eat, breathe, sleep
And if
it.
you don't love it, you won't do that.
You won't.
And that's just that.
So, just to clarify to make sure, there's no, not to put you on the spot, you don't have
Nah,
to answer.
put me on the spot,
There's
baby.
no, it's not a hard question. There's no personality traits you think that are like
I see what
you have to have in order to do this job. And I don't want you to
No,
say like,
no, that's a tough question though. That's just the reason why it's like.
okay, yeah, if you can't answer it on the spot, it's not a big
No,
deal.
no, because it's just I think. So if you just like walk around the office, I think there's everybody has their own personality.
Yeah.
I think it's not
For
just
sure.
done one way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you have those guys that they're not very social, but they're very smart, analytical. You know, or you'll have those guys that are just living like they're Leonardo and freaking Wolf of Wall Street or something. You know what I mean? You have different personalities everywhere.
Yep.
It's just my advice would just be yourself, but specific characteristics, I think it's just I can't really think of any.
I feel you. No,
I-
yeah,
well,
that's a hard
You
question.
said the characteristic. You said it.
Yeah.
A love for the game. A love for your
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
game.
You
That's
got
a characteristic in its own. To be honest with you, it's
yeah. It's
no, yeah, I wasn't trying to press him. I just
No,
want,
no, no.
I just
It's
want to
just
make
a-
sure he got his point
It's
across.
like to pinpoint just certain characteristics. That's a tough one because everybody's different and
Exactly.
everybody runs the business a little differently, and I think they are all successful.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's just one way to do it. I think there's multiple ways to do it.
Fair. That's a fair answer. As far as the list I have no other questions besides the ones for us on there. So do you have any questions or do you have anything you want to talk about before I get into the podcast shit about like?
I mean, I think
We hit everything,
shoot.
but he's the
one-
guest.
I want to know one thing was I want to make sure the viewers knew about the confidentiality, about the relationships you're gonna have to build.
What was the question I told you to ask at the end? Do you remember that? Remember you asked me why it wasn't on the list? Oh,
I asked it.
no,
I didn't.
no, you didn't ask
What?
it. Why? And not to get into comparing or anything like that.
Oh,
Wha-
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I remember.
Y&M.
Why would you and not only because you work there, but why would you recommend Northwestern Mutual to other people? Not to compare it against other companies,
No, completely fine.
but
So-
why would you recommend it? That was the question, right?
Yeah,
That was it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was so.
Good call.
Not only are the Fortune 100 company, yeah, cool, we're a big company, whatever. What matters to me is when you're dealing with financial services companies, right? Your insurance, all that stuff. They gotta be able to pay out benefits. They gotta be able to have the financial capacity to, you understand what I'm talking.
Yeah.
We have the highest ratings out of the whole industry. So that's Standard & Poor, Finch, Moody's.
Yeah.
We have the highest ratings. So
According
Not-
to, is there like a standard or like I'm just because
no,
it's a question that's gonna be asked.
this is
When
finance.
you-
This is these are companies that analyze
I got this.
people's like credit worthiness. You never heard of the company Standard & Poor and all that stuff?
All right, so it's basically
Talking to your
the
mic.
Business Bureau.
Right.
It's the business bureau. Okay, so
yeah.
it's a legit ass company.
It's-
Rating.
and they measure your financial strength.
Yeah.
And we are the top of the industry. So if I'm a consumer, I want to work with the best,
100%.
right? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna go to freaking Joe Schmo
And
be
I have
like-
the paperwork here that it does say it. I don't know if you can see it.
If
But
you're
anyone
if you're not watching, it's on the YouTube version. He's holding up a paper that John brought through Northwestern
yeah.
Mutual.
And if you
it-
want it, we can scan email to any of our
Yeah,
viewers.
absolutely. It's just and it's not just that. The culture is great. My mentorship is amazing. Man, that's probably number one for me. The mentorship I have is just so a guy. I'm not gonna just throw his name out there, but he used to be a pharmacist.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like it. He has an amazing personality. He's super smart. His business has grown exponentially, and he took me
I
under
wanted
his,
that too.
he took me under his wing, and he's been just teaching me everything he knows, and that's just something like I can't even put a price on, because it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So the mentorship, the culture, just, man, we're doing the right thing for people.
So you believe in it?
Yes,
believe in it?
I believe in it. I believe in this whole thing. This is the company I will be at for the rest of my life.
I mean,
Wow.
That's tough. I know.
No.
That's it. I'm not saying.
I'm just saying. That's that's a hell of a testimony. Right
You
there.
know
That
that's
is.
going to be our Instagram quote.
That is
100%.
It is.
written by.
So we
That's how
post an
committed-
Instagram quote from every interview. We're
Yeah.
definitely going to use that at the end.
That's how committed I am.
All right, you guys heard it here first. 2 more questions that are kind of like selfish. Obviously, we always ask these, or at least we try to. John knows we're asking them. What was the main reason you decided to come on this podcast or wanted to? I mean, a lot of people are going to think you wanted to come on here just to fucking get clients. Is there another reason? Is that the main reason? Why did you want to come on here?
So I think we talked about, like, we could really make this episode like we go
Way
all night.
long.
about
Yeah,
this
yeah,
stuff.
we could have gotten to a lot of
It's
detail.
literally like, because we'd even get into like detail about any of this stuff. Really,
No,
right?
exactly.
Like,
we
you know,
stayed
didn't get
surface level, and we
didn't
did that.
take-
We did that for a reason.
We didn't get technical or anything
Exactly.
like that, and that would we could really get technical.
But that leaves it open for a
But-
potential
so-
episode 2.
Right, absolutely.
Not mind doing episode 2 with him.
No, I know. Exactly. He knows that.
I think at first you're right. Maybe I was like,
Selfish.
I guess a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it's like, man, first off, you're my boys too. You know, I'm supporting.
Yeah.
Right,
Appreciate it.
we'll grow together.
100%.
Third, this is a great platform right here. This is a good thing you guys got going, and if you could bring this to local businesses and stuff like that, this is a very valuable platform. So I had a great time, great experience. I think you're very professional. You're doing a great job, both of you. Yeah, and I'm very thankful to be here.
We're thankful to have you on. I mean, that was the next question anyway. It was like, what was your experience? What would you rate it? I mean, like Dave Portnoy, Barstool, 1 out of 10. Like, what would you give your experience here? What do you think we could make better? Any
I'm
changes?
subscribing right when I leave.
I appreciate that. I really do.
I mean, this is the real bar, right? Like,
Right.
it's crucial that we're here to give the guest a platform to give their pitch, to give their story, to give their whatever they want, right? But we also want to do a good job.
100%.
You guys are doing an amazing job.
And that's a testimony to you. It's a testimony to us. And it's a great thing that, like, when the guests come on, they have a good time. If they're not having a good time, we're
doing something wrong.
Yeah.
It's the real bar for a reason. Like, you should be, like, it should be like we're sitting at the bar,
Yeah.
having a few drinks,
Yeah.
shooting the shit. And that's the whole premise of this,
Yeah.
right?
And
So if we're doing that, we're doing it right.
and I think what differentiates you guys is I like that you guys challenged me. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you guys threw some bombs out there, and I like that.
That's why Mason's here. He's
Yeah.
like,
But I like that. I like that because those are honestly probably some questions people are thinking about.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm happy to address that. I'm
Yeah.
happy we got an opportunity to clear all that. So I'm
Yeah.
very thankful for that. So,
No.
but yeah, you guys are doing an amazing job, man. We're just gonna keep this thing going, and if you guys could have me on for another episode, I'd be very thankful for
I
that.
feel like that's gonna be.
No, we could definitely get that in.
precursor
I honestly,
to
we appreciate everything you said, and just to like clear some shit up, when we say we have guests on to give them a platform, we understand that sounds a little bit arrogant. We're not saying we fucking got this crazy platform and whoever we bring on is gonna get the fucking juice and they're gonna get it blow up. We understand we have 700 followers. We've been growing this. We just started this. Like,
The
we're
Real
trying to make it big.
Barcast is about to blow me up, man. I see it.
I hope.
If I'm a business owner, if I'm anybody that just has something interesting to talk about, and talk to these guys.
Dude, honestly, but
No.
What we did.
I really do appreciate it, but I just
No,
want to make sure people know,
seriously.
like, we don't think we have the juice or like,
You
yo,
do.
you come here and you're gonna get this. What we're trying to do is give people a platform because there is no other. Yes, you could. We have people on here. We've had someone on here whose Instagram had 13.5 thousand followers. The reason they came here is because it gives them a voice.
Yeah.
Instagram is not a voice. Snapchat's not a voice. Twitter's not a voice.
Well, Snapchat's
This
a voice,
lets you sit
technically.
down,
Snapchat's a
talk, use your actual voice, and like have a conversation.
Yeah.
With
That's-
white
that's-
with white claws, you can
With
beat
white
that.
with
think
white
we're
claws,
doing-
and we'll take that and we'll take that sponsorship. But
No arrogance. I think we're doing the God's work.
oh Jesus Christ, we're gonna have to cut that out. Jesus
I don't
Christ.
think you do. I don't think you do. Because honestly, I'll sit here and tell you this right now. I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job.
RJ, you're
I
a
think
fucking
doing a
idiot.
phenomenal job. He doing.
No, we honestly appreciate it, and I mean,
appreciate
now that
everyone.
RJ's getting stupid, obviously we're wrapping this fucking thing up because RJ's an idiot. But
We love RJ.
Greg,
Judge
we
me.
really,
Nothing
we really
but the
appreciate,
truth.
we really appreciate you coming on, man. It was awesome. Hopefully, we get you on again for another episode and
Thanks,
get some
brother.
more details
Definitely.
going on.
Definitely. Thank you both.
As always, guys, you can find this on YouTube for the video version. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud. Honestly, wherever you can hear or see content, this podcast most likely is uploaded to. We appreciate everyone for listening. We appreciate everyone for coming out. I hope everyone has a great week. Griggs was a great guest. I hope you guys took something from this. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We got Brandon Bertrand starting his own new podcast for sports betting, gambling, and fantasy.
Sideline scoop.
Sideline Scoop. Follow it on Twitter. The Real Bar Bert or Sideline Scoop. Griggs, do you have any social media platforms you want to shout out?
Man, I just created a Facebook like
Yeah.
2 months ago. To be honest,
He's getting with the times.
Yeah. Throughout the whole education period, I got rid of everything. But no, I'm coming back. I'm making Instagram next week.
All right.
Yeah.
So look
Keep a
out.
lookout.
You got Jon
Yeah.
Griggs on Facebook, but look out for him on Instagram, possibly Snapchat.
Oh, I got Snapchat too. Yeah.
All right, he's got Snapchat. So everyone check him out. As always, I hope everyone has a great week. I appreciate you guys listening, and we'll talk to you later. It's been The Real Bar. Peace.
Peace.